So this Sunday, we're coming to the completion of our Advent journey, right? With the perfect idea of joy. Of joy. Now, the last few weeks, we have kind of been talking about ways to cultivate attitudes and ways of being that kind of secondarily promote joy. If you remember the Sunday before Thanksgiving, we talked about the joyous process of harvesting the fruits that we have been planting and nourishing and growing and working with, the fruits that we want to experience in our lives. And we have been taking care of that, and we're now harvesting at this time of year. And we also agreed that we wanted to establish a solid gratitude practice, right? By acknowledging and receiving all of the good that the universe is continuously giving us. Remember? And we did that, and it's, just paying attention to and being aware of the blessings, all the blessings in our lives. That's what creates joy. Gratitude promotes joy. And then on the first week in December, we talked about miracles, joyous process of miracles, and how we might create the conditions in our lives that invite more miracles in, right? By, again, paying attention to everyday miracles, just those everyday miracles that are all around us that sometimes we don't notice. In fact, we talked about let's go on miracle alert. Remember, we affirmed that together. I am on miracle alert. And let's do that again together. I am on miracle alert. Yeah, we talked about how miracles, a shift in perception. We're shifting our perception away from focusing on what's missing, what's wrong, what needs to be fixed, and intentionally shifting it to focus on a higher possibility, on the possibilities, on new possibilities. And that's when miracles just occur naturally. And then Pat Webster came and talked to us about the wonderful process, life's amazing renewal process that happens even in the cold and the dark of the winter. We did a beautiful ritual. You had a beautiful ritual you did with a bulb, a flower bulb that we were to hold and sort of visualize and plant in the cold, because we want to witness that miraculous process that happens even in the darkness, and just joyously anticipate the flower that will grow. Has anybody got any sprouts growing up from that yet? Yeah, have you? Oh, yeah, okay. Just keep waiting and watching and witnessing, with joyous anticipation, what grows there. And then last week, I talked about how, we can all get caught in fear. We can all get caught in fear. And I think some of that fear really stems from a feeling of powerlessness. We sometimes feel powerless over the forces that seem to be raging out of control. But that the antidote to feelings of powerlessness is to take action. But not just any action that's connected to the heart center, to that love within us, and open our heart and allow that limitless love to pour forth in an active way. That's the antidote. And when we open our hearts and we share of that love in an active way, that's what's so joyous about this holiday season, isn't it? It's a season of giving. Does it feel so good to give? And so now I've got to thank everyone here who participated in fulfilling the wish, the angel tree wish. Look at all those gifts under the trees. This is for the families that are sheltering right now, fleeing domestic abuse. You have helped to create a magical Christmas for them. And not only have you multiplied their joy, but you've multiplied it for yourself as well. And there are two people in particular that I really want to acknowledge right now who got this whole thing together and organized it and saw it through. And that's Maria Kavanaugh. If you're watching there, if you're online, thank you. That's our board president. Was instrumental in going out and shopping for a lot of these things. A lot of people gave cash. And Debbie Hall, who organized it. Let's have a round of applause for both of these women who helped to make this happen. I mean, look at that. It's just feels so good to give. It feels so good to know that you're making a difference in, some child's life. All right, so now as we get closer to Christmas, we begin to experience the joy that comes with anticipation. So if you have little kids or grandkids, or you remember raising kids, around this time of year, as we get a little closer to Christmas, they begin to kind of buzz. They're like literally vibrating in anticipation of that day. They get to tear open their gifts and see the toy or the game or the special thing, the sports equipment or ballet slippers or bike or whatever it is that they've been so wanting. And the thing is, they're experiencing the joy just in anticipating. They don't even have it yet. They're just experiencing it in the moment, that joy. Or maybe it's an anticipation of baking cookies, with mom or dad and eating those cookies. Or maybe taking them around to neighbors or classmates, right? Have you done that this year?
What I like about doing cookies is decorating them.
You love decorating cookies. I know, isn't that fun? Yeah. And when you share them with friends and neighbors, right, that gives us a sense of joy, too. The experience that comes with giving. You experience that joy. And so I want to invite everybody here to think back to a time when you were a child, and it was right before Christmas, or if you're Jewish or Muslim, okay, so we're talking about a holiday that there is gift giving. Think about that time when right before, a few days before, there's something you're anticipating. Some special present you've been wanting. Whether it's a bike or a toy or a game or something and you think maybe this year will be the year that you get this thing. And you're just buzzing with anticipation. Or maybe it's you're really anticipating with joy visiting a relative that you don't get to see, like a favorite grandparent or somebody that you don't get to see very much, and there's so much joy in that. Or maybe it's a certain type of food that you only eat once a year, and you're so looking forward to having that. Just bring that to mind and allow yourself to feel that joy that comes with the anticipation. You don't have it yet. You're just anticipating what that's going to be like. Just think about that. Feel that. Be with that. Good, huh? I can't see your mouths, but I have a feeling you all have smiles. Your eyes are smiling. All right, yeah. So as we mature and we begin to connect with the true meaning of Christmas, our joyous anticipation is about anticipating the birth of the Christ consciousness within us and the promise of peace on earth. Right? Jesus, the example of that infinite love embodied, showed us the way, showed us it's possible. It is a possibility. It's always a possibility. And I think at Christmas, we connect with that possibility, even though we're not really conscious of it all the time. That's it's what we sing about, right? It's what we talk about on Christmas Eve, that anticipation that maybe this year we will begin to realize that promise of peace on earth, goodwill to all. Right? Joyous anticipation. It's not just a feel-good thing. It's actually a powerful spiritual practice. Because what you're doing is what Karen was singing in the song. You're literally visualizing something that you really want, but it's not yet in your life. You just, you hope that it will be soon. But you're experiencing those feelings, that joyous feeling of having the thing as if it were here now. So this requires a little bit of imagination, but that's okay. We all have that power of imagination. It's one of our 12 powers, right? It's innate. We just need to activate it and use it correctly. And so with it, we can creatively envision a new possibility and allow ourselves, again, to feel the joy that would come as if it were here, that we have it now. That joy, right, that comes with that. So this is the place, right? This we've been talking. This is the energy, the place that we want to do our affirmations and our affirmative prayer work. It's not about the words, not repeating the words. It's where the words take us to that experience of feeling, that joyful feeling as if what we're praying about is here now, has already manifested, that joy. That's where we want to feel when we finish our affirmative prayer work. I'm in joyous anticipation, just like a kid at Christmas, right? Just like a kid at Christmas. That's the magic. That creates the magic. That creates the frequency that draws our good to us, or us to our good, however you see that. That's what does that. So creatively imagining, visualizing, seeing a new possibility. And if you say to me, well, I'm not very creative, I don't have that skill to imaginatively, visualize anything, I would say, yes, you do. All of us do. Most people, though, use that power of imagination to imagine the worst, right? It's called worry. We're all pretty good at that. It's visualizing what you don't want. We can clearly see some scenario that we don't want to happen. We don't want that to happen. So, let's be careful with that, because visualization is a powerful thing. Now, you're not going to manifest something bad just by worrying about something every now and then, or, occasionally visualizing something you don't want to happen 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 times. But if you make how many times? If you make a consistent practice of that, careful with that. Because, again, you are creating the frequency that might bring that to you. So instead, we want to develop that skill to positively imagine the very best. The very best. And that's a skill we can develop. We can practice that. In fact, let's do a little thing right now. Let's do a little practice right now. We're going to do a little creative exercise that might help with that. So I invite you, if I can get this off, join me in this. So let's pretend this is not a Christmas ball. It is an oracle from the future that has transported to our time right now, and it has a message for us. Oh, okay. So the message is that if we all keep our hearts open and express our love in an active way and share our love, that our future is golden. that we can experience heaven on earth. And, it's telling us it sees that it's possible for us. It's really a possibility. Ooh, wow. Allow yourself to feel what that would feel like, that joy of anticipating that experience. Everybody opening their heart, loving each other, being kind to one another. Nations cooperating with each other to solve our challenges of this, our global challenges. Sharing resources. People sharing resources with each other. It's like that song, Imagine, right? People sharing with one another, no borders, just opening hearts, being generous, being kind, dropping the division, dropping the tribalism, right? Just seeing everyone as a brother and a sister, a namaste kind of thing. The divine in me greets the divine in you. We do this here. We can see it here. But imagine the whole world. Wow. I mean, what would that do? What would it be? How good could it get? You know how we're always saying, oh, how bad could it get? What if we said, how good could it get? How good could it get? Ooh, let's play in that energy for a while. Good. So I encourage you to play around with, some creative exercises that will increase your ability, will enhance your ability to visualize the good that you want to see. We want all engines going here, and that really helps when we're being creative with one another and allowing ourselves to imagine that joy that we experience, and we experience it now. It's not in the future. We're experiencing the joy right now of the possibility, of a joyous possibility. So let's imagine together that joyous possibility of the realization of the promise of Christmas. Peace on earth, goodwill towards all. Amen. So it is.